Hello and welcome to yet another episode of a Euroman movie report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. This week I have watched Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water is basically a western set in 2016. Hell or High Water stars, among others, Jeff Bridges, Ben Foster, Chris Pine, and it takes place in western Texas. And it's basically about that Ben Foster and Chris Pine are brothers. And their mother has recently died. And she had a small farm, which didn't turn a profit. But the local bank, called Midland Bank, which mostly in westerns represents the local bad guy, which they certainly are in this film. Before the mother died, we don't see the mother in the film, we only have her referenced. They borrowed the mother $25,000, knowing that she would not be able to pay it back. So after the mother dies, the bank initiates a foreclosure on the property, which makes the two brothers, of course, as I said, played by Chris Pine and Ben Foster, very angry. So they decide that they are gonna rob Midland Bank of the $40,000. And that's what they do. They rob small branches of that mentioned bank, and in the duration of the movie you really get to see how derelict that part of the United States really has become after the financial crisis of 2006. The camera pans by in several scenes for all these closed factories, closed gas stations, closed shops, for closed houses, and it's really a sad place. And there's a scene in the beginning of the film where we see that a graffiti on a wall which says, "I did 3 tours in Iraq, but only the banks got a bailout." And it's really that. It was really a great movie, a great cinematography, because it really showed a community which had lost the present. There was no hope for the future, and so on and so on. And then the two brothers, they, as I said, begin robbing banks, and then in comes Jeff Bridges, who is really like a good old-fashioned cowboy, like the part he had in True Grit, the remake, of course. And he, together with his partner, who they are both Texas Rangers, they try to solve the bank robbery. And there's a scene in the film where they come to this small Texan town, and then they try to. It's a couple of hours after Ben Foster, he has robbed the local Midland Bank branch. And then there's this, Jeff Bridges' character, he tries to interview one of these farmers who is a guest at a diner next to the bank. And when I remember correctly, one of the farmers, he says, "Oh, that bank cheated me out of my money for 35 years. And it's really like, you get the impression that who is really the bad guy in this film? Is it the two brothers who is trying to attempt to save their late mother's farm, or is it the bank who has lured people into debt which they couldn't pay back? And that's basically one of the themes in the film. And you really get all the way through the film a beautiful scenery. West Texas is really beautiful. I visited West Texas about 10 years ago, and I really liked the area. So I hope to go back someday, personally. And the acting, Chris Pine, Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, and the Jeff Bridges' partner, what was his name? Gil Birmingham, who plays the second Texas Ranger. They really do a good job, in my opinion. And so does all the other actors. One got the feeling that many of the people who had a small role, that maybe they were not professional actors, but it really gave it a down to a feel that it didn't contain a lot of seemingly professional actors. So I really enjoyed it. At the end of the film, it had a real Western-like standoff, and yeah. So all in all, it is a great film. I really enjoyed it. It was like watching a modern-day Western. So all in all, if I'm gonna rate it, I will give it 4 out of 5 Coca-Cola bottles. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you liked this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description. But I will return next week with a review of, yeah, it's time to go rogue. More precisely, Rogue One, the Star Wars standalone film. I'm really excited to go watch that, because it looks really great, and I will return next week with a review of Rogue One. But until then, have a pleasant weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.